you all heard certain things from Paul about capacity. Definitely the capacity is the huge constraint in this space. And also you heard about expansion from engineering services to manufacturing, tooling and everything. So definitely that's an opportunity too. If you look at what is happening in Caterpillar, one of the things Caterpillar itself found was the product development is a huge value chain. If you look at the department I belong to, which is Product and Process Development Department, where we do not just engineering. We do engineering, change management, supplier collaboration, manufacturing engineering, virtual manufacturing, tooling, and things like that. So it's the entire value chain. So that's how the engineering space is changing. If you look at the manufacturing industry in 1970s and 80s, everything was built in one shop. So the space was totally different. Now it's a global environment. So the things were changing, and that's one of the things. In Caterpillar, this particular group, Product and Process Development Group, was formed, and my department is 1.5 years old. So we started this journey around 7 months back, looking at India for the opportunities, and we looked at and assessed the India and all the companies who are in this space, and started looking what are their capabilities, and we started the journey. So if you look at the first slide here, definitely that's how the process started sometime last year, April of 06. And now today, we are 105 team members working on a global platform now. So it's a significant milestone for us, especially in 7 months we were able to accomplish this. But before we started the journey, one of the things we started looking is what are the things we need to change to improve the quality of the product. We looked at, okay, the traditional way of doing product development is a point-based engineering. You pick a concept and then move forward with that particular concept, and then we try to build the pilot machines, and then you find there are issues, and then you recycle the projects. We want to move away from a point-based engineering to set-based engineering, where we will have multiple concepts we're going to look into. So multiple concepts means what Paul has said earlier, the capacity constraints. We need capacity. We need more engineers to do multiple concepts. And also we want to do virtual engineering. Virtual engineering means all 7 multiple concepts you see there in the first column means you have multiple finite element models you need to build. You need to multiple collaboration work with the supply base, manufacturing engineering. So that's what all capacity about. So we want to do all that and then take it back to the core engineering group in India, in US, and then combine those concepts and further evolve into one concept and avoid all the things we're talking about. So the engineering workforce under Caterpillar core is going to evaluate the systems and the cost and manufacturability, whereas the global partners is going to help them in the capacity side of the business to build these multiple concepts. So that's the thought process we went through, and we started the process. And by going through from a point-based engineering to set-based engineering, you end up with multiple combinations. They act as definitely as a source of alternatives, and also a knowledge base, something in your back pocket. When something doesn't work in your concept, you use them as a redundant system. So this is how the whole capacity, there are some numbers as I walk through this presentation might be differ from Paul's, but that's my thought process is this capacity constraint, this change in product development evolution is totally different. Now the things are changing. We want to do more and faster. So that's what the thought process here is. And also one of the things we all face is, so if you give everything to a process partner or a supplier or a partnership company, what is your core? Constantly we face that. So one of the ways of looking at it is, especially most of you are exposed to the telecommunication industry, you need to look into what are the core critical activities. and what are the product development enabling activities, and also what are the product development generic activities. If you look at the critical activities, definitely 95% of them should stay within the walls of the core company. But even in that critical, 6% can go portable to offshore. And then if you look at the enabling work, almost 60% is portable to offshore, and generic work is almost 90%. This is exactly what is happening in telecommunication industry, and they wanted to build relationships with companies, whether in China or India. Definitely a lot going on in India in this space. That's where the work is going on. So that's what one of the things we use this model to help our engineers, our management, to think through the process of saying, you need more help. And as far as looking at the future, definitely execution is the most important thing. If you look at what's happening in the forest in Africa, the gazelle wakes up every day and it knows that it must outrun the fastest lion or it will be killed. And the same thing, the lion gets up and it says, oh man, I need to find a slowest gazelle. Otherwise it doesn't have a meal. So in this space, the execution is the most important thing. So whoever wants to be in this space, they definitely needs to strategize how they move on into this space, but also the execution is the most important thing.